This conference will now be recorded.
Monish, I think till date we have completed um, a use case diagram. Do you
Yes.
have any questions related to use cases? Do you want me to go for one additional example, or any questions related to that use cases first now?
No, not as no.
Can we go for activity diagram on sample example?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, I will give you a small demo on how activity diagram works. So there are it's like I will choose an example, a call center. And in call center, there are multiple processes. Let's try, I will try to incorporate the process followed in call center using activity diagram.
Okay. Hello?
Hello, hello. Yes, Monish.
So there was some connection issues, I guess. Yeah.
Sorry.
From my end, there was a connection issue. That's why I was not able to hear you. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah. Cool. The activity diagram is like we are trying to connect multiple process within the diagram for the understanding of the other people. That is the purpose of the activity diagram. It's normally it starts with an activity. There is a start with the activity. Normally we represent using a small circle. It is not always required to highlight it, but it's up to the BS to decide whether to highlight or not. Other than that, is it uses the standard flowchart related shapes in it. It's like within the say within a small visual diagram, we are trying to parallelly explain the processes involved in multiple departments.
Okay.
That's the purpose of activity diagram. So now it's like we can go even in depth, but at the moment I'm just trying to connect three different. For example, if it's a call center, the normal procedure is initially the first process work involves related to the phone. You have to either, if it's a outbound call center, means you have to take up the phone, you have to punch in the number, followed by a ring will be happening. If the customer picks up, then first it starts with the phone. in the caller. Here the agent calls the it's an outbound process call center where the agent calls the customers. So first work involves work related to the phone. Second, once the call gets connected, the customer try to explain or try to offer support to the customer. That's where the caller comes to the role, and parallelly he has to input the information about the caller in the CRM. Like he has to type in the name of the customer, name, phone number of the customer, issues related to the customer. If the particular agent is trying to upsell anything to the customer, the information what he tried to sell has to be mentioned in the notes session. So if everything goes good, or if the particular agent wants to reschedule the same call to the current time of the customer, if he fails to resolve the issue within the scheduled time, he has to reschedule it. So the rescheduled time information has to be incorporated in that comment session. So
Okay.
these informations will be taken care by the caller process, and recipient, it's like he in the recipient area, he's the one receiving information from the agent in case if he's logging a complaint for in any specified issue. As a specific SR number, a service request number, has to be shared with the recipient. So these are the multiple process involved in a outbound call center. So it's like to connect multiple departments or multiple users in a single diagram, we use activity diagrams. Okay. So I'm just trying to recreate the scenario which I explained using the visual image at the moment. That's it. It can be more complicated depending upon the situation. Yes, it will be. So as of now, I have choose a very easy scenario. So if you want to implement any, sorry.
Yeah, I said okay.
Okay, okay. In case if you want, if you have any challenging scenarios, if you want me to implement any challenging scenarios using activity diagram, you can share the topic name. Initially, let me try to implement call management, customer care call management using activity diagram. Okay. Did you try installing draw.io, Monish?
Yeah, I did, but I did not work on anything. I need to work.
In that it didn't work in your computer.
No, I downloaded, but I need to work on the model.
Okay, 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 cool. Do you have any VCO software?
No.
No. Possible VCO offers some I think a 30-day free subscription, free trial.
Okay.
So I would say it's
That,
like normally this is mandatory. Though there are better tools, no, I would say it's like some simplified versions are available. It's the best. It offers plenty of functionalities, plenty of diagrams. It offers close to 25,000 plus. I haven't counted, but there are tons and tons and thousands. I would say easily it will be exceeding more than 25,000 shapes, and by default it will be having a lot of sample diagram. So in case if you get a chance, you can go through. I will also have asked for a sample subscription, so I'll try to explain from my end how to work in the VCO. The thing is, by default, every BA has to know how to work around with VCO. So I will try to install by this week. So to give a demo on Visio. So just
okay.
in case if you can try going for Visio.
Okay.
The resume mandatory, the first page it has to say that you're well versed with MS Visio.
Okay.
Okay. Hello, Monish.
Yeah.
this is how I have explained the process of a call center, or outbound based call center, using the activity diagram. Okay, it can color in order to differentiate the process, the relationship. You can change the color of the relationship images. The same way you can use, there is no restriction in using shapes or relationship arrows in the images. It's like the same way like we discussed for the use case diagrams, dotted lines or the dependents, or in case if you want to offer additional help info or additional text related to the process, you can always feel free to use dotted lines. So it's like a standard flowchart incorporated in a threaded, or in a combination of multiple process. So
So can you explain me the flow
that's
once?
the flow. Yes, of course. So there are, the black color circle is the start of process.
Okay.
Okay, and it's an outbound call center. So as per the request of the customer, the call agent dialing happens in the phone. It's like through internet phone. So I have created it's like internet phone will be creating the log, it will be updating the log. So anytime the call center management team can look into the information of the particular call, or call related information through that internet phone.
Okay.
So these are the values, or these are the informations which happens in the process called phone. So first one, dialing is happened through phone, and second process, I think I would say dial tone first starts once the call. So call tone first. The normal process is when an agent picks up the phone, he immediately receives a dial tone. Then, as per the scheduled information, he types in the phone number to initiate the call, and a ring notification will be happening. So once the customer picks up the call, so this information, it's like a call connecting procedure is mutually distributed in all three processes. So that's the reason call connects is call the procedure called the process called call connects is interrelated between the all three processes. And then it's like he will be collecting the information. It's like there is I assume that it's a it's outbound support for mobile services. So I have asked for a call, and once the customer picks up the call, I'll be giving, that is the call, the recipient will be sharing the concern or the issue nature to the agent. So he collects the information from the customer. The agent collects the information or the complaint from the customer, and logs in the complaint in their CRM tool. And once he resolves the issue, or in case if he fails to resolve the issue, he will be scheduling the future call. So for future reference, an SR number will be generated. The same SR number, the generated SR number will be shared with the recipient.
Okay.
So this is the process involved. The recipient work involves a share. It's picking up the call, sharing the complaint with the agent, and once the issue gets resolved, he'll be getting a reference number, or normally the call center uses the term called SR number.
Yeah.
The process gets over.
Okay.
So this is the process about a call center management. Okay,
Yeah.
you can include any diagrams. It's like there is no restriction to use any set of shapes. So to convey the information what you have learned or what you have collected during the uh, recommend process, you can feel free to use any shapes listed in this particular tab.
Okay.
It's like in case if you're working in database, you can use this kind of images, class names as. So it's like just to it's like to communicate in an effective manner, you can use any shapes listed in this sidebar. So that's
Oh,
it. That's it about activity diagram. If we go to our next diagram. So do you have any questions related to this?
no.
Okay, cool, right? So let's get into next image. Till date, do you have any questions related to other than diagrams? Do you have any questions?
No.
In case other than draw.io, if you get time, the other better version, other it's not a better version. The other tools related to diagrams or related to creating diagrams or Lucid Chart, Smart Draw.io. In your free time, it's like I remember both the tools offer free version. It's like it doesn't require to install the version. They offer a cloud version, so you
Okay.
can in your free time you can try both the tools also. So once you tried a couple of images in your resume, you can include you have a knowledge related to Lucidchart and draw.io. The advantage of using Lucidchart is it has plenty of extensions. It has an extension in Visio, it has extension in Jira, it has an extension in Confluence, Arcadian. So in every tools which BA works, there is a extensions. So easy. The moment you complete the image or the diagram in Lucidchart, you can easily place or export it directly to the record tool without exporting, without saving the image in your local computer, then adding or uploading the same document to the um, Confluence or Jira. So it's like having a decent knowledge will be helpful for you during the interview cracking procedure. I'm not sure whether the company encourages to use Lucy Chat, but these are mandatory. This will add up some good value while presenting yourself during the interview process. So I don't think there is a major difference. It's like there's a slight UI difference from the draw.io. It is much smoother since it's a paid version. There are plenty of packages available in Lucidchart. So with the limited feature, with the limited shapes, with the limited extensions, the first initial subscription is free of cost. So you can have a hands-on using Lucidchart.
Yeah,
If
I'll
possible,
download
try
MS Visio. Most of the resumes had MS Visio. I go through MS Visio only.
Visio, Lucidchart,
Okay.
and smartdraw.io. And
Okay.
few more tools are also there. You can try it, and you can try Balsamiq also. Balsamiq is a wireframe tool. So it's like assume that you are working in a mobile app or a web-based application. Sometimes, for example, you are assigned with the wealth management tool. So like you're asked to come up with the you have collected recommends related to web management tool, and you have to explain the same information to the uh, client as to your IT team. The reason why where wireframing will be helpful are not all clients are interested to develop application or product start from the scratch. There are
Okay.
plenty of frameworks available. You might have heard about Laravel in PHP, and sometimes you might have heard about Spring Boot in Java frameworks. So these are, it's like open source, or these are already that is the enough functionalities are already achieved in this tool. Backend functionalities is already, you might have heard about WordPress. And WordPress is a, it's a blogging plus it's like a website builder, a user friendly website builder. It has every feature required for a beautiful website. It has an inbuilt e-commerce, it has an inbuilt payment gateway, it has an inbuilt filters, a whole drag and drop web page builder. Apart from that, what else? It has close to 30,000 different types of functionalities.
Okay.
So at this moment, it's like without UI, you have every single functionalities required for the product. So in order to communicate effectively, it's like the purpose of your developers is to come up only with the UI. Whatever UI they design or develop, that will be placed on the top of the functionalities available in the framework. So in wireframing, you can, it's like you yourself can come up with the sample UI, not a final UI product, but it's like you can explain them what are the functionalities requested by the client. If it's a dashboard, means if assume that you are requested to come up with the wealth management tool, and the particular tool helps in tracking the, it's like there will be multiple investors, there will be two parties. One is the service providers and the other one are investors, people who earns good money wants to invest the same money in they want to put the investment in multiple eggs, multiple baskets, and get a returns out of it. So the people, the customers wants to know where are the places that money is being invested. What is the current ROI, returns of investment? What is the progress for easy tracking? What was their original initial or investment invested amount, and how much it got matured? Is there is a drop in the value of their investment? In case if it's going to be a spike, we have to show an interactive spike. When they hover on the spike, we have to show how much percentage it has grown, and in what level, in which grid the particular spike is into, for the easier understanding. So it's like you can come up with the wireframe how the dashboard should look. In the dashboard, the first module or the first panel should explain the performance of their investment in a pie chart. It can be in a pie chart, or it can be in a spike chart, or there are tons and tons of different types of charts available. You have to mention a sample chart in the first panel. Second panel, list of companies, or list of the places where the particular customer's amount is being invested. So like that, it's endless. You can come up with your own UI, so that UI team can easily understand what are the components that has to be incorporated in the UI. What they normally do is, so they use a technology. At the moment, there are plenty of good UI and UX technologies. AngularJS, Node.js, they'll be coming up with the reusable component. They'll be just developing a component. If it's a search box, means the search box will be, they can be implement the search box in any places. So in the wireframe tool, you will be mentioning the particular page should have the particular wealth management tool can have dashboard, front end page, admin page, profile page, the list of possible investment areas. So these are the multiple pages a normal, as a simple wealth management tool will be having. So it's like as a BA, you have to mention the list of components a single page, that particular specific page should carry.
Okay.
So this is the purpose of wireframing. It's like some companies call it as a wireframing. Some company call, instead of calling wireframe, they'll be calling it as prototype. So these are the other jargons used during the wireframing. So wireframing is also must. So I have shown a small demo. It's like a minute of demo on Balsamic. So Balsamic is also important. Switching the application. These are the normal components. In the same way, the UI or UX team will be coming up only with the components, reusable components. So as per your instruction in the wireframe, they'll be designing.
Okay.
It's not working. For example, if you see these are the reusable components, it's like there's a chance you may be working. Could you able to see the Balsamic tool?
Yeah, yeah.
There's a chance you may be working with the web application or with the mobile apps. So these are the components which normally they design. So chart by column wise, line chart, pie chart, cover flow. It's like opening of multiple windows, field set where the image should be placed like this. Description. That I have to. It's like it doesn't cover the full picture. While designing, they may be coming up with some outlines, some better different types of images or outline of images. So you are not mentioning the font style or the style of the elements, but for easy understanding. iPad, same way. In case when you are working for mobile related apps, tablet related apps, it can come up with wireframes using this kind of elements. So, for example, you want to mention the user profile. Every apps will be having a menu in the top right hand side profile where they can change, edit, or view the profile information. So, if you want to use icons, definitely we'll have a separate session on this Balsamic tool. So these are the components. With these components, you have to come up with the UI. Okay, so
Okay.
that based upon the wireframe which you are sharing it, which you are sharing it with the technical team, they'll be developing the front end components, reusable components using the technology, the company they decide, Angular or HTML5. Get into the other diagrams. Next diagram is interactive interactive overview diagram. So it's an extended form of activity diagrams. It's like coming up with more activity diagram in a single process. Okay, I will try to recreate a sample call center management tool with the using interactive outline diagram. Okay,
Okay.
overview diagram. The sample cases currently this activity diagram only demonstrates the processes available. Sometimes the management team wants to incorporate, it's like there's normally it's like sometimes we also involves, it's like they need to schedule the estimated calls per day, scheduled number of available agents depending upon the shift, available number of tools. If the agent picks up the call, there should be some software, CRM software. It's like technically they should be having access to that particular software. So it's like the number of agents, number of estimated calls, the concurrent usage of the particular CRM tools. Sometimes the company will be having some 300, 400 agents working around the clock. There shouldn't be any drop in the CRM. These are the additional parameters to the existing process. This kind of information can be incorporated in the same diagram, and I'm not going to walk around within this particular process. I will be explaining the number of agents required for the new shift, what would be the estimated calls. So additional parameters depending upon, if you're working for a call management call center management software, we have to include the other parameters relevant to this process. So that's called the interactive overview diagram. Just give me 2 minutes. Let me just think about what are the other information I should come up within this existing image. Let me
Okay.
just think. Yeah. Normally, this is this we call it as a frame. Okay, it's like every image or diagram has need to have a name. So this is where you can it's like you can in this particular space control plus this space you can name, it's like you can feel free to type in the name or other parameters related to the image to this diagram, any additional comments. So like you can feel free to include any help like help or info text in this particular place. Normally I use it for the purpose of naming the diagram. What I'm trying to do, I'm actually I worked in a one tool called call center management tool. It's like in the tool, the first process, the first image explains about the normal things happen, normal call center process. In that, my work involves, it's like we have to collect, it's like for Dell, I had a option of working with Dell. It's like for them we came up with the particular CRM, extended form of CRM, where we have to collect the informations. It's like since there is a very high call volume, we have to send a notification to the agent saying that once the average call handling time shouldn't exceed 20 minutes, but we cannot restrict the call to 20 minutes. Sometimes depending upon the level of priority, level of issues, the call can even reach up to some 40 minutes, even up to 1 hour. So in order to process the request or process the complete the particular phone over task within 20 minutes, once the call reaches 20 minutes, we have to display a warning or info pop up on the agent screen saying that 20 minutes. And in case for every constant 10 minutes from the first 20 minutes, we have to send the same reminder again to close the call as soon as possible. These are the very few parameters which we collect during the call. Other than that, the tool has to record the whole conversation starting from dial till the customer hangs up the call. The whole conversation has to be recorded, and the recorded information has to be stored in particular database. There will be multiple database in the server. There will be plenty of connected mirror servers, so we have to mention what are the places that particular file has to be in what particular location the file has to be saved. Apart from that, once the call gets over, there will be a different ways of collecting feedback from the customer. Oh, it's like there are plenty of channels the company uses to collect the feedback, like through once the call get over, there will be another executive calling the same customer asking for the feedback, whether the issue got resolved or would they require additional feedback, additional information related to the complaint, or do they prefer to have a new scheduled call to fix that issue. So there are multiple ways the feedback can be collected, or they can send an email to the particular customer asking for the feedback about the agent, whether the particular agent was handled the call in the right manner, did he approach the call with the right courtesy, did he able to understand the images. So this is another module. There will be plenty of questions. We have to shuffle around the questions while collecting the reviews. So once the review is collected, according to the it's like out of 10, we will be asking the customer to rate about the call quality, executives way of approaching the call. So as per the information or the feedback collected, incentive, it's like if the particular agent got 5 positive reviews, his incentives will be calculated. So I'm just saying a very outline, very generic, very 1% of that particular tool. So like that, we will be collecting some more than 50 different informations. So other informations can be incorporated within the frame. So in this work, in this interactive overview diagram, we are trying to connect the needs of the requirement of the particular software with the existing process. So I will try to I have it's like randomly I have come up with a few tasks or the few features required for that software, and I will try to connect the same features with the process involved. So this is the sample which I'm going to give you a demo for interactive overview diagram. Is that fine? Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. In case if you have any questions, you can feel free to ask. No
Okay.
problem. I hope you understand the purpose of interactive overview diagram. It's trying to connect the process with the requirements. That's the purpose of overview diagram.
Yeah.
Okay. Reason why I have mentioned con, collect call duration is for statistical purpose or for mentioning this kind of information in the dashboard of the clients will it's like if it's a client means client will be having multiple user roles. The user role with a maximum privileges wants to view individual call duration of every calls for better reporting purpose. So this kind of few information has to be collected in every process. That is the purpose I'm mentioning collect call process. This is just for I'm not going to explain every situation, just for the understanding, for the connection of existing activity diagram with the additional overview. I'm just coming up with few random details. Okay.
Okay.
Precisely, even I have to mention another activity diagram within this frame. That particular activity diagram has to give explanation on the software, that is on the CRM which we are developing. Precisely, because it has plenty of tons and tons of features, but at the moment we don't have enough time. It's like that's the reason I'm just using very few set of elements.
Okay.
Real time, it's like sometimes the server which takes care of notification will have its own complexity. Normally big companies, what they do is they'll be having a queuing or routing or notification process, a separate server that will be taking care of notification. If they incorporate notification process within the existing server means there will be some latency, there will be drop, there will be, because there are plenty of users concurrently using the existing CRMs. So if we try to centralize every commutation or process within the same server, there is a chance the software can, there is a chance with the high volume of calls, with the high usage of software, there can be a latency or there can be a drop or there can be hit in the service of the CRM sometimes. So normally that will be taken care by a complete third-party application or by a different queuing engine within the server, within the infrastructure, server infrastructure. So that's the reason I have completely grouped reviewing the feedback, based on the feedback, providing incentive to the agent. This will be taken care by a module called notification center. Even sending also comes in there. So this is the sample representation. We are trying to connect the CRM with the existing process. I have just used very limited. I would say it's a drop in the ocean of the original CRM process. There has to be even a detailed information, detailed process flow of the CRM within the same interactive overview diagram. Just for the initial understanding with the limited time, I have tried to explain how we can connect an activity diagram with the other processes involved in the application or involved in the work. So as per the requirements, every supporting information has to be incorporated within the image. This particular overview image will give you a generic information how the process works, what are the informations which are connected to the process or the individual process of the work. So like every small module will be collecting or taking information to the log. So it's like what are the required data that should be collected for the purpose of the software can be implemented, can be visually developed and visually demonstrated using this kind of interactive overview diagram. So this is how the interactive overview diagram works. Sometimes I will be forced to use class elements in this diagram. It's like uh, sometimes we will be collecting information from particular field. The field, it's like as per the data recommends. Currently it says a field type. So it's like required as per the recommends. We will be mentioning the column name, DB column name. So for architecting purpose, this is the usage of interactive overview diagram. Do you have any questions?
So basically, the activity diagram is a subset of interactive diagram, right?
See, it's like technically yes, but the place where you use with the name differs as per the place where you use. If you
Okay.
just want to explain the process, activity diagram is enough. If you want to relate the process of the company or process of the flow of the work with the application or with the recommends means it's called interactive overview diagram.
Okay.
This is generally while trying to explain the architecture of the existing process or when you try to relate the architecture with the application, you normally go for interactive overview diagram.
Okay.
Okay, this is the purpose of interactive overview diagram. So I will try to come up with some tasks for you related to this diagram tomorrow.
Okay.
I think, yep. Do you have any in case if you have any questions in other time when you practice on yourself, if you have any questions you can send a WhatsApp message.
Sure.
uh, I won't be checking it frequently, but definitely with the interval of 3 4 once in 3 4 hours I'll be looking into my WhatsApp account. I
Okay.
can help you. It's like you need to have a hands-on. It's like that's more important. Diagram, it'll be repeating with the same diagram again and again. Coming up with diagram is not a big deal, but you have to understand how to connect, what is the purpose, how to highlight, how to use the arrow marks, how to change the arrow marks. That's where the experience comes to roll.
Okay.
So rest of the things are very basic, where it's like
Yeah,
it's just
here
an
is
extended. Yeah.
no problem, but in use case diagram, the arrows, it has everything has significance, right? We cannot use whatever other thing we use. Like we generally, for here we used whatever the things to just tell the flow of the thing. But when it comes to use case diagrams, we need to use particular arrows or particular boxes for the flow of the project.
Mhm. Okay, no, definitely. Then in that case, I will have a small session first, 1 10 to some 50 or half an hour session only related to that arrows. I will come up with the PPT list of arrows used. What is the purpose? So maybe that may be helpful for you tomorrow.
Yeah, because yeah,
Okay, definitely. It's like understanding the purpose of arrow mark will be definitely helpful. We cannot use the same normal default arrow mark in multiple places.
yeah,
dotted line arrow mark have a complete different relationship. It can be used in very selected places. When we include, we'll be using a different set of arrow mark. So we'll have a separate session on it. Definitely a detailed session on only on arrow marks.
Yeah.